How important is exercise technique for reducing injury? Technique's important for many things, but probably not as much as you thought it would be for injury risk. Now, you might be wondering, why is a personal trainer whose job it is to teach proper lifting technique tell you this? It's simple. When we look at big population studies, you know what predicts pain way more than bad technique? Inactivity and a sedentary lifestyle. And the sad thing is, one of the biggest reasons people avoid the gym is because they're scared of doing it wrong. Hi, I'm Danny from OPEX Bristol, and today we're going to talk about one of the biggest myths in fitness, and that's how perfect technique prevents injury. The principles I'll cover today are the same ones that helped Mikey finally fix his shoulder pain, which he carried around for 20 years, Frank recover from knee surgeries and ultimately get back to skiing, squash, and even running, and John, who went from constant pain to one of the fittest in his peer group. And if pain's stopping you from exercising or doing what you love, check out the links in the caption, book a free discovery call, and let's see if we can help. Okay, so let's dig in. Where did the perfect technique equals safety idea come from? So back in the 70s, workplaces had a huge problem. Back pain was everywhere. Warehouse workers, nurses, builders, millions missing work, and compensation claims were skyrocketing. So researchers started to look at biomechanics, and early studies showed that bending your spine increased disc pressure. And that got translated to a simple rule: don't bend your back, bend your knees. Employers loved it. Posters went up, safety courses rolled out, and for decades, everyone drilled the same mantra: a neutral spine equals a safe spine. It felt sciencey. But here's the twist. Despite all of those courses and posters, back pain rates didn't drop. Systematic reviews like Martin et al. And Tavito Heising show manual handling training didn't reduce back pain at all. The billions spent didn't even move the needle. So science had to face it. Posture and technique alone don't predict injury. So with that in mind, what does increase injury risk? When we zoom out, the research points pretty clearly. It's not about the shape of your movement, it's about your body's capacity to handle load. Number one is progressive loading is more important than perfect posture. It's rarely one bad rep that causes injury. It's doing more than your body's actually ready for. The problem is when we tweak something, it's a bit like losing at Buckaroo. You blame that last rep or random movement just like you blame that last piece, and not the 7 that were already on the donkey. A rounded back deadlift isn't automatically dangerous, but trying 20 heavy reps way above your usual tolerance, that's where the risk starts to climb. And studies back this up. Spinal flexion isn't a strong predictor of back pain. Load and recovery are far bigger factors. Number 2, movement versus sedentary lifestyle. One of the worst risk factors of pain? Doing nothing. Sedentary jobs don't break you, but the lack of variety leaves you deconditioned. And then when you do move, your body freaks out. Motion really is lotion. Stop moving and you will get stiffer and more fragile. Number 3, fatigue and recovery. Fatigue doubles injury risk in athletes. When you're tired, tissues recover slower, coordination drops, and small loads just feel heavier. Sleep, stress, food, and hydration, they all matter. Number 4, poor movement variability equals fragility. Think of movement like language. The more words you know, the better you can talk your way out of trouble. But if the only words you know are tits and prick, you're way more likely to get punched in the face at the pub. Movement's the same. The more positions you can train, the less likely one awkward position will catch you out. Number 5, general fitness protects you. Stronger, fitter, more mobile people simply get injured less. This 2015 firefighter study showed that fitter crews had significantly fewer injuries regardless of technique. And number 6, stress and sleep matter. Pain isn't just mechanical. And this 2014 British Journal of Sports Medicine paper found that athletes sleeping less than 8 hours were 1.7 times more likely to get injured. So what role does technique play? When we talk about technique, the temptation is to frame it as a safety shield. Perfect form equals injury-proof lifting. But that is hugely oversimplified. Technique absolutely matters, just not in the way most people think. It does help efficiency and performance. Good technique lets you lift more with less wasted effort. Think of a powerlifter dialing in the squat. The bar travels less distance and the force is directed in a straight line. And as a byproduct, performance improves. Efficiency is especially important in endurance sports or repeated efforts where wasted movement equals wasted energy. Technique also helps with load distribution. It can change where the stress goes. A rounded back deadlift may load spinal erectors more, while an upright posture shifts more of the weight to the quads and the glutes. Neither is inherently unsafe, but depending on the person, you may find one feel better and allow more weight. Technique is often about finding positions that your body tolerates the best. Technique is also vital for consistency and progression. If your squat looks different every rep, it's hard to add load or measure progress. Technique gives you a consistent baseline to build from, and this makes programming way more effective and helps you notice when fatigue or load is starting to push outside of your recoverable volume. Changing technique is also great for deloading irritated tissues or patterns. If certain tissues or patterns are causing pain, changes in technique can help to reduce load and improve recovery. This is classically where people confirm to themselves that their technique was wrong, but it's way more complex than that. And yes, if someone squats with a slight knee cave in and their knee starts to hurt, getting them to drive their knees out can reduce pain. But here's the thing, the opposite can also be true. I've worked with plenty of people with knee pain where their squat form was textbook. And if we got them to squat with a knee cave, they could often see a reduction in pain. So what are the important takeaways? Number one, move more. The human body thrives on movement. Sedentary lifestyles increase pain risk far more than any single bad posture. Try to think of movement as WD-40 for your joints and tissues. Number two, respect relative load. It's rarely just the exercise or posture that causes the problems. It's often the too much too soon trap. Even the perfect deadlift can tweak your back if you jump load or volume beyond what your body has adapted to. And it's also important to consider this when you have time off. Just because you deadlifted 200 kilos before you went away on a 2-week holiday doesn't mean you should lift it the day you come back. 3, recovery is training too. Sleep, stress, nutrition, hydration, they all influence how resilient you are. The nervous system plays a huge role in pain and injury risk, and poor recovery equals an unhappy nervous system. 4, don't demonize postures or techniques. There isn't one safe way to move. Your body is adaptable, and it's better to be a Swiss Army knife capable of many positions and strategies rather than a Stanley knife that can only work in one direction. 5, train for resilience. Get fitter, stronger, and more mobile. The stronger and more conditioned you are, the bigger the buffer between everyday life and your actual limits. And that buffer can protect you. And 6, when you do get hurt, and as a human being, the odds are you will at some point, try not to catastrophize. A tweak doesn't mean damage. Pain is an alarm, not an X-ray. Most non-traumatic injuries recover quickly with movement, load management, and patience. But worrying or avoiding everything only teaches your nervous system to stay sensitive. And that's it from me. If you're dealing with pain that's been holding you back, this is exactly what we help people with at OPEX Bristol. You can find the links below for a free consultation. And if you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to keep watching, our YouTube overlords think you'll love this next video. Thanks for watching.